Hello everyone and welcome back to yet another video, and today we are having a bit of a dive into Sins of a Solar Empire, or more specifically, the Sins of the Prophets mod. Yes, this is the other spacefaring game that I mentioned a bit of a while ago, and this one, well, it's a little different from Battlefleet Gothic Armada. Whereas in Battlefleet it's it's Warhammer, it's cool. Therefore it plays a lot like a Warhammer game. This one isn't. This one, well, you start off small. Like anything in life. You start off small, a nice little battle, gathering your forces, trying to fight off who would be an invader, trying to get a few colonies out there, maybe build up a little bit of a fleet. Things change very quickly though in this game. And even after just a couple of hours, the game can shift completely in the way that you play. And also, a bit of a warning, this isn't exactly how I was hoping it would go. Like, first 20 minutes to half an hour of actual gameplay that I was recording went as I expected, but I ran into a very peculiar issue. Now, this game, it's not single player. There's always some other player, and that's usually either AI or someone else if you play with somebody. Here's the thing. I never ended up running into the enemy AI. Not because for some reason they weren't in the map. No. As we will find out later, they never actually left their home planet. They are still sitting up there just like dumpty-dumpty-dum. Not doing anything. I don't know why. I don't know what I may have did to slightly break the AI, but they never decided to leave, so this is essentially going to be me taking over worlds and slightly crushing them right at the end. A bit of a pain, but it's not like I recorded 2 hours of footage expecting some epic space battles and kind of didn't really get any epic space battles, which kind of sucks. But that is the way it goes. So, who here likes Halo? I do. So, what have we got over here? We've got our first little fleet here with, Marathon class cruiser and an Orion class assault carrier, along with a fair smattering of Paris heavy frigates, aka the ones from Halo Reach, because they are freaking awesome. And things are going, well, they're going pretty well. Crushing the little rebellion resistance here. That looked like a Prowler from the other player. Prowlers, by the way, they're essentially a little recon craft that you can use to scout out other worlds and become a pain for your enemy. But here's the thing, that is the only time I saw him before we got to his home planet. Now, his home planet is literally on the opposite side of this star system, behind two huge portal gates. He was literally in the most secure position he could be. Yet he didn't ever leave that position. I don't get it. This is the first time this ever happened to me, so I don't know what went wrong. But anyway, I didn't realise it at this point. So we're creating yet another fleet. We're already putting together a fair few resources. As you can see, we've got two fleets up in the top left. A little star icon with a number in it, that is a fleet. Okay, so there's also a couple of asteroid belts right outside of our capital colony. They were a bit cheerful. Oh yes, this is getting quite a bit later on now. Because, as you can see, all of a sudden, we're no longer just in those, half a dozen planets. We're now all the way on the opposite side of the star system, colonizing that planet and the other one. I completely forgot what their names were, and sadly, I just can't quite read them, because, you saw the way that I go ahead and record, you understand why I might struggle to read them. They're just a little bit too small to read. But, I ended up building quite a sizable little fleet here. Now, generally speaking, this doesn't happen. You don't get to go ahead and just absolutely ruffle stomp the galaxy, get an economy unlike anyone has ever seen before, and just build units like they're going out of fashion. But that's what I got to do, so that's what I started doing. Now, these are your Phoenix-class colony ships. Now, there are two types of Phoenix-class. You've got the Phoenix-class colony and the Phoenix-class support. It's the same ship, except the support one is a refit in universe to, well, be offensive and stuff. Whereas the colony ships, they colonize, but they also make star bases, aka the anchor stations that you might have seen out of Halo Reach. They're pretty nice to have, especially when you can build two of them in each star, well, if you go with Terrence Hood as your admiral. But enough of that. I've got a ton of resources, why not? Let's go ahead and start building up a huge fleet, take care of those two asteroid belts, because the other reason I haven't attacked them is because, well, to have an asteroid belt you really need to put a starbase into it. Starbases are kind of expensive, not to mention you have to protect them, and then you've also got to send out a Phoenix class to capture all the resource points. Bit of a long palaver. I decided to avoid it until later on. Also, I found out I really can't count. I also have a load of things which are called Halberd classes. They are heavy destroyers. They're pretty damn nice, but turns out I don't know how to count. Ended up making a couple too many. Oh well, we all make mistakes, right? Do love this game's effects. Also, big shout out to the people that actually created this. I think it's what, Breakpoint Studios, something like that. Tremendously good guys. I mean, creating a full conversion mod for a game is never an easy task. 2, making a high quality one is an even harder task. And 3, actually doing all the textures, graphics, little cool little things that turn up. Doing it all yourself, that's pretty impressive. Also, if you look in the top left, you can see we're now up to 3 fleets, but each one of those little green dots, that's an individual ship. As you can see, we have got a lot of ships at the moment. If I'm not mistaken, we're sitting at probably a couple thousand or two. Yeah, these are the ships that I mentioned earlier. Kinda built a couple too many. Oops. Ah well, we all make mistakes. Go ahead and scuttle them. Watch them blow up all pretty and stuff. Okay, right, that's the access taken care of. I guess it's probably time to take care of the last 2 planets. And go ahead and finally set about taking care of the player that forgot to actually play. Yeah. It really is just curb stomping at this point. As you can probably see, this is just one fleet. I have got 3 fleets that are this big or bigger. Yeah. Oh well. So, what's new for you guys? I'll tell you one thing, I have been backed up with work like crazy. Go ahead and cranking videos out for you guys. It's not because I've got a huge plan, but things have come about which means that I may need to prepare for the worst. Not saying I'm going away, I'm just saying that I may have a few very big issues coming about soon, and if they do, then I will let you guys know. But hopefully everything will be fine, and I'm worried about nothing. But enough of that. Also, fun fact, I really do like the GTX 480. I'm not sure if I've mentioned it in the previous video. I probably have. I can be a bit forgetful. So much, in fact, that tomorrow's video is actually going to be a bit of a look at the GTX 480, but in 2020, seeing how that, well, pretty old graphics card now actually holds up. And, well, I'm actually so far pretty impressed. It's been a hell of a lot of work to go ahead and get everything ready for it, but I can definitely say it was worth it. Also because, you know, it's fun playing around with graphics cards and stuff, especially old ones. Something just so cool about them. Also, what we're doing here is we're ranking up all of our ships. Why? Fun fact, they get more health and they get all that sort of goodies which essentially means we're making an already pretty broken fleet even more broken, because all of its capital ships are going to be even harder to take out. I mean, assuming you can even take them out with a huge fighter picket, frigates, destroyers, corvettes, light cruisers, not so light cruisers, and then everything else that, well, protects those capital ships, not to mention the multiple fleet carriers. Anyway, so we are finally taking care of the last two planets, and as you will see, this is going to go by pretty damn quickly. As you can see, this is one fleet with what, 80 something fighters, you know, fighter bombers. Yeah, they ain't gonna stand a chance at this. Look at all of that fire coming in, just missiles, nuclear missiles, Mac cannons. Yeah, I would never play this. I actually also play this on the Dell Optipace, yes. The Dell which barely could. Turns out this game's pretty damn fun on it. You know, playing obviously with not so extensive settings, and I may have slightly made a modded file for my main PC, but also made a modded file that, you know, you can have smaller battles so you don't run into issues of like 2 FPS because you've got a fleet as big as this, or 3 times as big as this in this case. And yeah, it's actually pretty damn fun. But it has also made me appreciate one thing in particular that I don't get to really see in this episode, but the Super Mac cannons, aka orbital weapon platforms. They are brilliant. And I really have come to appreciate the phrase, "In Smack we trust." I can make a good title at some point. Anyway, so we have got the fleet moving in, all of the hundreds of vessels attacking the United Rebel front. We're going to follow this ship here. I like the Stalwart class. A really good sort of, you know, fleet frigate. If you've got plenty of capital ships, I recommend building these ones over Paris class. As whilst the Paris class may do more damage, be more armoured, this one is a far better anti-air, or anti-space. You know what I mean. You know, stuff like fighters, shuttles and small craft, this is a lot better at defending against. Just see the remnants of the rebel vessels just floating about, absolutely wrecked. But yeah, Stalwart class, really good for AA. I do like them as a sort of fleet cover vessel. But, alas, we are starting to run out of time, so it is time to finally see the final fleet. Ready as we are about to go and invade, well, the main planet, the enemy's last homeworld. And as you can see, we've got a fair old fleet. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow this Halcyon class, so let's call it the Pillar of Autumn, because why not? And you're going to get an idea of just how insane a fleet we actually have, to the point where it actually struggles to load in textures for all of them fast enough, as you can see here. Oh boy. And we are in, and the lag is real. Look at all of those vessels, and these are just the frigates. You've also got capital ships moving in, getting ready to obliterate the enemy. Just to give you a better idea of how huge this fleet actually is, we have still got people arriving. Something like 260 odd fighter squadrons, ridiculous amounts of carriers, small craft. I think we have something like 400 corvettes in this fleet alone. If there is one fleet that ain't going to go ahead and take no prisoners, it's this one. And surely, within practically no time, all we obliterate every last one of the enemy defences, and are ready to essentially go ahead and capture their HQ. But, anyway, here's hoping that next time I go ahead and feature this on the channel, it's a battle where they actually fight back, because things can get pretty damn difficult. This can be a very difficult game, but sadly that was not the case this time. But anyway, if you like the video, leave a like. If you dislike it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to go ahead and check out the Patreon, Facebook and Twitch pages in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more content. And of course, as always, this is the 117th Con, signing off. Have a brilliant day, folks, and I will, well, catch you all in the next one. Ta-ra.